Hey everybody, I'm back, and today I want to get political again and just kind of give some updated thoughts and observations about the Democratic primaries and where those are heading. So it's September 24th as I record, and right now just went and checked a bunch of national polls, and most of them still seem to have Biden as the in the lead for the 2020 or to win the primary and go for 2020 election. I said a couple of weeks ago on a video, it was like on the eve of the third debate, I think Warren has this in the bag. That's a super early call. There's a lot of primary left. But if you just kind of look at trends and observations and everything, she seems to be surging to the top, and everybody else is just kind of falling behind right now. So it seems strange that Biden still is in the lead in a bunch of these polls, and just checked a bunch this morning. One has him up 12, one has him up 2. Biden hasn't been doing very, very well. He's been the leader in the field since he entered. He was the leader before he even entered. That's kind of strange. But he hasn't done anything really, I don't think, right? He's had a lot of gaffes because that's what Biden does. And again, I don't think he's demented. I just think he's old and tired. But it doesn't look good when he's out there rambling or getting confused, mixing up stories. During the third debate, Julian Castro got him in a gotcha moment where he got Biden to contradict himself on stage within like 60 seconds or something like that. But again, he's an old guy, and that's to be expected and stuff like that. So I don't think he's like demented or anything. I just think he's old. And really, if you're going to go up against Trump in 2020, do the Democrats really want to put another old white guy up against Trump? Is that a good winning strategy? I don't think so, and I think a lot of Democrats don't think so as well. Biden's just kind of like maybe like the safe default pick. But he's not really inspiring. He's not really got a new, he's got not a refreshing message, or he's just not inspirational. Again, as I said in my last video, who is super excited and gung-ho for Joe Biden? I haven't seen anybody. I don't know any friends that are. He's everyone's number 2 or 3 pick, perhaps, but I don't. How many Joe Biden bumper stickers do you see on the road these days? Not very many. So I just don't think. I think he's just coasting on momentum. But that is only. I'm surprised it's kind of gotten him that far. I do think Warren is going to take this. A couple reasons. She's still old. I mean, she's a senior citizen, but I mean, she is a woman, and that matters a lot to a lot of people. I would love to see a woman in the White House someday. I'm sure I will see it in my lifetime, but it's going to take more than a pair of ovaries, right, to get my vote. So, but that is something that she has going for her. She is running progressively enough to attract that part of the party, but she's kind of, she's kind of like an Obama-style politician. She's kind of like, she's the one person I see who can really take both sides of the party, the far left and the regular left, and kind of maybe merge them into one. But the main thing I see right now, not even looking at polls, but just looking at the news, these last 2 weeks, you've seen a lot of campaign rallies of hers, and they look Trump-esque. I mean, there's tons of people, at these rallies, a sea of humanity come out to see Elizabeth Warren, right? Super popular, and that shows me a lot. Joe Biden goes and does stumps and speeches and visits, and he's got a crowd around him, but he doesn't have a sea. He doesn't, people don't like Biden that much, but Warren can draw a crowd, right? She's got a lot of popularity. She's got a lot of momentum right now. That tells me something. These polls that are saying that Biden is ahead, I don't believe those. I think those are very skewed. I think, I mean, we should know by now not to trust polls, right? But this reminds me a lot of the general election in 2016, right? I mean, if you paid attention at that time and were, fair and just kind of observing from afar, you would see that Trump would go out to these rallies and these campaign stops, and there would just be bonkers amounts of people out there to go and see this guy, huge. It was like a football game or something, right? Huge rallies with huge people. He draws a lot of people out. In Arizona, we had a few of these rallies, and it was just mad. It was like a football game. It was bonkers. But, in the polls, everybody kept saying, Hillary's going to run away with this, and Trump's far behind. But when you go and look at these rallies, and it was all over the country, he was pulling these huge audiences, and Hillary would go out and, she'd get a crowd, but nothing like this huge swell of support like Trump you see in his rallies. That tells me something, and Warren has that now, right? So there's a lot of primary left, but just kind of looking at those optics there, she is kind of gaining ground on Biden, but I expect in the next week or two, she's going to overtake him, and it won't even be close. So she can unite both parts of the party. She is a woman, so it's kind of like a redo of Clinton in 2016. That does matter to a lot of people, and that's totally fine. And she just seems to. You're starting to see the party kind of coalesce behind her, and she's separating from the pack. And Biden is trending down, and she's going to, I think, skyrocket above him pretty soon here. We will see. The rest of the candidates, it'll be interesting these next couple of weeks and months to see really who really wants to be president, right? Because now that Warren is in the lead, who's going to come after her, right? Who's going to attack her hard? Those are people that think they can maybe chip away at her. Those are candidates that really think they have a chance of winning. In the field right now, as crowded as it is, there's really only a handful of people with a chance of getting the nomination at this point. Biden, Bernie Sanders, and after that, Warren, Biden, Sanders are your top three. There we go. And after that, it's Kamala Harris. Yang keeps hanging around, but I mean, he's not really a super serious candidate. Bless his heart. Go Yang gang. But is Biden going to go after Warren? Is Bernie Sanders going to go after her? How hard? That is going to be very telling. Who thinks they have a chance and who thinks they can do some damage to Warren? But the rest of them, they're just here for their own publicity and to maybe set up a campaign in the future. But right now, like I said, it's I think it's Warren's race to lose, and we'll see who really goes after her hard, and that will tell you kind of how serious they are about wanting to win this nomination and how good their chances are. So how much she gets attacked and by who will tell you who's really in this to win it, and who else is just kind of here for their participation trophy, right? That said, you should still be a little wary about Warren. The reason is this, and this is something that I don't think many people know, but it is telling. So the thing is, I think the biggest knock against Warren right now is just the fact that she is a U.S. senator. So what? Here you go. Past 100 years, the past century, right? We've only had 3 presidents win office who have come from the Senate, right? We've had a lot of senators run for the presidency, but really we've only as Americans we've only put 3 into office. Being a senator is not a good place to be if you want to be president. Senators just don't seem to win office very much. Who are those 3? If you're still watching, Warren G. Harding, John F. Kennedy, and Barack Obama are the only 3 senators who have gone from the Senate into the Oval Office. As Americans, it's just not something that we like. Obama did, but that was because he was running a member against John McCain back in 2008. So either way, in 2028, we were going to get a senator in the office regardless. But senators don't make good presidents. Well, they don't have a good chance of winning. There's many reasons, but I think just, when you're in the Senate, you got a huge voting record that can and will be used against you, right? And so that's a huge liability. And Warren's been there for quite a while now, and so I think that that could hamper her quite a bit. Very easy to go in someone's voting record, and you can just cherry pick, things they were for and things they were against. In the Senate, that's your job, is to vote on things. And that gives you a lot of ammunition. Well, how can you be for this now when you voted against that in the past, or vice versa? So it's difficult to win a general election when you are a senator and your job was just to represent a certain small slice of the country. And so I think Warren has other issues to worry about, but I think that's a big one right now. And if she makes it to the general, which I think she will, is just being a senator. She's kind of handicapped in that aspect. So, but we will see. Like I said, we live in interesting times and crazy things happen. It seems like daily or weekly. So anything can change. Speaking of anything that can change, real quick, I did look at the Vegas odds for the Democratic primary before I shot the video here, because you can look at the political polls and whatever you want, but Vegas, man, Vegas is where the real action is, right? And the Vegas polls, actually has Warren as the likely candidate right now. So the smart money in Vegas, because people bet on this, people bet on anything, it is on Warren right now. So she's in the lead. Biden is number 2 in the Vegas odds. And Bernie Sanders would be number 3. Kamala Harris would be a distant 4 in the Vegas polling. And my man Andrew Yang is far away number 5. But what's interesting is in the Vegas polls, this is just worth noting, they actually have Hillary Clinton as the 6th most likely candidate to win the election today. Hillary Clinton has better odds than Cory Booker and Beto O'Rourke and Tulsi Gabbard, bless her heart, and Julian Castro. You didn't know it, but Hillary Clinton is according to Vegas, she's in 6th place right now, and she's not even running for the Democratic primary. And some people are thinking she might jump in last minute here as like a dark horse, skip the debates, and I don't think that's a good idea. Actually, that would be very bad on many reasons. But, it's Hillary Clinton. You can't put anything past her. But Vegas thinks she's got a better chance than half of the Democratic field right now. And she's not even running. So that's kind of interesting. But again, we will wait and see. Like I said, just go and don't always focus on the polls. Look around, right? Warren is drawing huge amounts of supporters at these rallies. Biden is not. Warren is definitely more inspirational and motivational than Biden. Biden is just coasting. And if he does happen to win the primary, it's not going to be from a position of strength. It's just going to be because he limped across the finish line. But I don't think and see that happening, because again, who is a rabid Joe Biden supporter? Nobody. He's just the safe number 2 or he's the safe backup candidate, right? But he's really not anybody's favorite. And can he really beat Donald Trump anyways? Because that's the important thing right now to Democrats, is just it's all about Trump, right? It's not really about policies. Maybe Supreme Court and some of those upcoming nominations might be, something to think about and worry about, but really, you can throw all issues and policies aside. It's just about beating Trump right now. And can Biden do that? I don't think so. I don't think so. He's too old, too gaff. He's just, to beat Trump, do you send another old white guy against him for the Democratic Party? That doesn't seem to be what they want these days. So I don't see that happening. So anyway, okay. That's my thoughts, observations. Not really a failed entrepreneur video, a failed politician today. But I like this kind of stuff, like I said. And, I will keep chiming in, not every day, but every now and then when I feel like it. So if you like that stuff, cool. Let me know what you think in the comments. those 2 or 3 of you watching. And everybody else, I got stuff to do. I know you do too, so I'll catch you later.